Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm back with some more updates coming out from the war between Russia and Ukraine, and we've got huge news to report to you here today. We've got reports of two munitions depots inside of Russian territory exploding last night from Ukrainian drone attacks. Looks like the Ukrainians launched over 100 drones into Russia last night once again. And I would not be surprised if Ukraine was also using missiles at the same time, as we do have reports that Ukraine could potentially be using their new Palinitsya rocket drones or potentially their Neptune missiles striking inside of Russia. So, two munitions depots exploding last night. This one that you see here on the screen is the Tikhoretsk Arsenal in southwestern Russia, okay, in the Krasnodar Krai region. We're going to go over that today. Apparently, this is one of the three largest ammunition storage bases inside of Russia, and we could definitely see that massive fireball from this facility exploding. Okay, we also have another one up in the Tver region, very close to that major arsenal that was exploded just a couple days ago. I think it was called the 107th GRAU Arsenal that Ukraine also struck just about 2 days ago. So this is in the city of Oktyabrski. I think it's more of a town actually in the Tver region, very close to that other facility that was hit just the other day. So we'll be going over that today as well. I've got lots of video footage coming out from Russia showing lots of secondary explosions, and both these facilities were definitely burning into the day as well after they exploded during the night. So we also got reports from Kharkiv inside of Ukraine coming under attack by Russian missiles and maybe glide bombs striking the city. We had reports of a hospital as well that was potentially struck. Also in Kryvyi Rih, down in the south portion of Ukraine, coming under attack by Russian missiles. Also, I think somebody's home was destroyed down there. I think we had people injured and potentially killed. So we're going to go over that information also. Then I've got a few more things to get you guys caught up on with some of the things happening inside of Russia and Ukraine that we'll go over. So let's go ahead and start jumping into the news, and let me start showing you guys some of the video footage coming out from these arsenals that were destroyed last night. Anton Gerashenko reports Ukrainian General Staff confirmed strikes on two military arsenals of the Russian armed forces. Tikhoretsk Arsenal is one of the three largest ammunition storage bases of the occupiers and is one of the key ones in the logistics system of the Russian troops. According to the available information at the time of the attack, an echelon was present on the territory of the arsenal, which delivered at least 2,000 tons of ammunition, including from the DPRK. The Podolyat radar station, which detected air targets in the direction of the arsenal, was also attacked on the photo. So that's this radar down here. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. Security Service of Ukraine struck the 23rd arsenal of the main artillery department of the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation near the settlement of Oktyabrski Tver region. Fire and detonation are recorded in the areas of both military arsenals. Glory to Ukrainian defenders. So if you notice here, in regards to the Tikhoretsk Arsenal, he mentioned that 2,000 tons of ammunition was on the location of the Tikhoretsk Arsenal as it was destroyed. Okay, so from what Reuters was reporting, there was a train that was just coming in to deliver a ton of ammunition. I think it was somewhere around 2,000 tons. And many of these weapons that were on this train at the time were coming from North Korea. And apparently, while it was struck, that train could have potentially been destroyed with all the North Korean ammunition that was coming into that arsenal. Okay, so that was some very big news. So we've got a video footage here that we're going to take a look at, and then we've also got a picture of this radar station that was potentially hit, maybe destroyed. So let's take a look at this video footage real quick.
Охренеть.
All right, pretty crazy, right? Somebody was able to capture this on their dash cam, and we can see as he turns his car, we can see this facility blowing up right over here. From what I understand, this might be the Tikhoretsk Arsenal, as we do have video footage coming out showing that when this thing exploded, we could see all these munitions flying everywhere. And I believe one of these facilities, it should be the Tikhoretsk Arsenal, It was exploding for several hours later. There was even North Korean missiles that were flying everywhere and exploding nearby near people's homes. I'll show you some video footage on that here in just a little bit. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this picture of the Podolyet radar station as well. So this is a photo of one of these radars that could have potentially been hit, attacked, maybe even destroyed at the Tikhorets arsenal when it got hit. Okay, so now I've got a map for you guys to show you where the Tikhorets, kind of a hard word to say, Tikhorets arsenal was hit at. Okay, so we'll go full screen just for a minute. So it's going to be in southwestern Russia, okay, down here in the Krasnodar Krai region. Here's Ukraine. So we'll zoom in down here to Tikhorets. And so here's the city right here, okay? And if you notice, they've got an airfield here nearby. Okay, what was reported was when the ammunition depot blew up, this airfield also caught on fire, okay, this airbase. So just over here to the northwest, okay, of the city is where this arsenal blew up, okay? And it's definitely a very good-sized arsenal. As we can see, lots of weapon storage buildings here. And if you notice, too, they store a lot of it outside, okay, in these containers. So it's kind of interesting they would just store it like this, very close to the border of Ukraine. And that's also why this thing exploded so easily. And also something to note is there's a railway that runs right here, okay, just to the north of this facility. And they've got a rail spur that comes down as it connects to this track. And this is where they drop off their supplies when they bring them in on these trains, okay? So that's also why this facility is located here. This is a major rail and transport area where they transport a lot of their equipment from Krasnodar Krai over to the war over here in Ukraine. And also, I wouldn't be surprised, a lot of this weaponry that comes from Tikhorets also heads to Crimea, okay? That's probably why it's strategically located here. So again, this is where it's at, just northwest of Tikhorets. There's another look at it again. And then also, we'll show you a map here in just a little bit that shows this airbase caught on fire at the same time. We can see Russia stores some of their fighter bombers here, some of their aircraft, that this place also caught on fire at the same time, okay? So let's go ahead and move into some other news here. We've got more video footage coming out from next explosion of an ammunition depot in Krasnodar region. Locals are evacuated due to detonation after a drone raid. Regional Governor Kondratiev said that the fire in the storage facility started because of falling debris from a downed UAV in the village of Kameny. The Russian Defense Ministry claims 101 drones, downed drones overnight. Okay, so lots of drones flying into Russia again just last night. I wouldn't be surprised 200 or more drones were trying to target these facilities. So let's go ahead and take a look at these video footage that we got here. We got 3 videos.
Ебать! Ебануться! Ебать!
Okay, so again, this is the Tikhorets arsenal down in the Krasnodar Krai region. We can see a massive fireball here and all those munitions detonating and blowing up all over the place. Pretty insane video. We got another one coming up here.
Даша, смотри, на дорогу, Даша!
Смотри на
Да
дорогу.
я вижу дорогу! Даша, смотри на дорогу! Нормально все у нас? Да, здорово, все.
Газуй. Уезжай.
Окна целые у нас?
Да. Уезжай. Это уже снаряды. Это сейчас все пойдет.
Даша, смотри.
Может, сейчас направо, прям поедем. Я знаю дороги.
Нет, не поедем, все нормально.
Охереть, крик.
Даша, смотри.
All right, as we can see from this video footage, this was definitely a major arsenal that Russia uses to store a lot of their weaponry. As we can see, a massive flame here also as this thing detonated. And it's pretty crazy. These people are only like maybe a mile away, it looks like. They're not too far away, maybe a mile, 2 miles away. It makes me wonder what the citizens in these areas are thinking when they see these things blow up. Obviously, they're located very close to some pretty good-sized towns and cities. And, it makes you wonder if they realize, wow, we're at war here, guys. Like, obviously we've got ammunition depots all over Russia exploding, And many of these people that are not right next to the combat inside of Ukraine are now starting to realize that they're definitely at war with Ukraine. Okay, so that was something to note there. Also, one more video to show you. Okay, so this video shows you all those secondary explosions in the background. We can even see the fireball coming up over somebody's house here, lots of smoke. So definitely a major arsenal that was destroyed down here in the Krasnodar Krai region. So we're going to move on to our next update now. From Mikhailo Golub, North Korean missiles are exploding and flying all over the place with toxic, cancerous fumes pumping into the air. Okay, so we've got video footage of one of these facilities too, and I believe this should be the Tikhoretsk arsenal, as we know that North Korean missiles were stored here. And we're going to see video footage of a North Korean missile that was detonated from this facility and flew away from it and landed near this person's house. Take a look at this. All right, did you guys catch that? Towards the end here, we'll kind of zoom in. If you notice, you hear that missile coming in, and the guy pans his camera away, and then he looks up, and this missile landed right in front of him near his home. Okay, so it's pretty crazy that Russia just stores these so close to people's, houses and pretty good-sized cities inside of Russia. And this is the result of storing it so close. Is now we've got all these secondary explosions going off, and these missiles just flying all over the place, and potentially targeting, maybe even hurting, harming, injuring, or maybe killing some innocent people nearby. So I thought that video footage was pretty insane to show you. All right, also, we've got this report from Nexta. Ammunition was stored in the open air at the attacked warehouse in Krasnodar Krai, and satellite images show. OSINT analysts drew attention to this. It is assumed that this is how the ammunition was being prepared for shipment. The footage also shows trucks. The video shows a smoke mushroom above an exploded ammunition depot in the Krasnodar region, seen by residents of Tikhoretsk, 10 kilometers from the site of the attack. Okay, so these are the footage, or these satellite images is what I was showing you on the Google Maps that we had just for you a minute ago, showing all these facilities just stored out here in the open. Okay, all these buildings and all their weapons just literally just laying out here to be struck inside of these little storage containers. So it definitely was very easy for Ukraine to strike this and detonate it, considering that there's no protective barrier over a good majority of the ammunition stored here. So I think we got a video coming up next, so let's take a look at that.
Долго еще будет гореть.
Okay, we'll go ahead and stop it there. So as we can see, more smoke rising from this facility after it was hit, and this means that more ammunition continued to detonate, probably some larger ammunition, some missiles that were stored here that probably caught fire as this fire continued spreading all through the morning, and we had secondary explosions going off, and that's what this smoke is indicating here. Okay, so it was still burning all the way into the daytime inside of the Krasnodar region of Russia. So let's move on now. We've got this report from Max24. Destroyed warehouses near Tikhoretsk contained ammunition from North Korea, CSIS, and beyond parallel. So we've got this little diagram that has some information for us. It says Tikhoretsk Munitions Storage Facility, Russia, April 7, 2024. It says here ongoing heavy rail activity on and along spur lines, showing that they've got these spur lines that I showed you that come down from this railroad track over here. Just as it says here, rail spur line. This is where they enter in, and they come down in here to drop off their munitions, and then head back out to the railroad again. And it says main access road and parking areas, which would be in this area. Slight decrease in the number of civilian vehicles present. Increased activity in the headquarters and support areas with a large number of heavy trucks present. Munition storage area continuing changes observed in the number, type, and locations of supplies and revetted storage areas. Okay, so a large portion of it is down here, obviously, where they store a lot of their munitions. And something that I was thinking about too, imagine being somebody working at one of these facilities knowing that Ukraine could just strike it and blow it up any day. I'm sure there was, Russian servicemen that were here at this facility when it was struck and destroyed last night and probably lost their lives. There could have been tens or dozens of them, hundreds of them here, who knows. And I would definitely not want to be working at one of these right now, considering that Ukraine is destroying so many of these. So now we're going to move on. Got another report here from Ozen Technical. Sentinel-2 infrared satellite pass over Tikurex after an extremely successful Ukrainian strike on Russia's 719th Artillery Ammunition Base overnight. The ammunition dump is ablaze and exploding munitions set the nearby Tikurex Air Base on fire. Okay, so this was some information coming out from Ozen Technical showing the ammunition dump over here. Okay, so here's the town of Tikurex, and I told you guys it was northwest. Here's that rail line that runs right here. So as this thing blew up, look at all the fire and the flames that were started just to the south over here, even a little bit northwest. Probably the ammunition is flying everywhere. And then also the Tikurex Air Base, look at it, completely on fire also at the same time. Now, did it come under attack by Ukrainian drones? Potentially, I would believe that it probably did also. But just to the north, major fire breaking out next to this air base as this ammunition was just exploding all over the place, okay? So it was definitely a major ammunition dump that was hit. Okay, also from Liskovka, the consequences of damage to an ammunition warehouse in the Tikurex, the Krasnodar region, Russia on satellite images. So even we got satellite images showing these fires burning out all over the place. That wasn't obviously with the infrared lens, just normal satellite, but we can see lots of fire here everywhere and even a little zoomed in portion there, okay? So definitely this whole facility was destroyed based on what we're seeing here. Okay, so also one more report from Tendar. There are several interesting facts regarding the Russian ammunition site in Tikurex, which exploded this morning. According to intelligence reports, it contained North Korean missiles, just like the primary ammunition site in Toropets, which got destroyed 3 days ago. The logistics hub is situated along important rail lines. The Russian rail network, yellow lines on the map, intersects in Tikurex and directly contributes to the Russian invasion into Ukrainian regions in the east, Donbass in the south, Crimea. The site is around 300 kilometers from the current front line, okay, or 185 miles. So that's what I was telling you guys earlier when I showed you on the map. This place is strategically located to supply not only the troops inside of eastern Ukraine, but also for Crimea, okay? These are major rail lines that run through this city or town, and that's why this arsenal was struck, okay? This is obviously a major arsenal for Russia to supply their troops in this continuing war effort in Ukraine. Okay, so big news coming out from Tendar. Now we're going to talk about the Oktyabrski arsenal as well that was hit. So I'm going to show you where this one is located at. So we'll zoom in. Here's Ukraine down here. So up north in the Tver region, pretty much right next to Toropets once again. We're going to zoom in. And right here is Toropets. This is the facility that was struck last time. We talked about this just a couple days ago. Major facility. I think this is the 107th GRAU arsenal that was destroyed just the other day pretty heavily. And then just to the south over here, we have Oktyabrski, okay, a tiny little town that we can see. And then just to the west is this pretty good size arsenal also, okay? So this one was hit as well. And from what we understand, for the most part, pretty much destroyed. We're going to show you video footage coming up here in just a moment also, but you can see it's not too far away from the Toropets arsenal that was destroyed just a couple days ago, okay? From what we understand, somewhere around 16 to 20 kilometers away or miles from the other storage facility that was hit as well. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Anton Gerashenko. Russian Telegram channels report one more drone attack on an ammunition warehouse in Oktyabrski, Tver region of Russia. NASA fire maps show a large fire in that area. Okay, so we got a couple videos to take a look at, and then also this NASA fire map that shows these fires breaking out all over this facility. So take a look at this.
Ох, ёб твою мать, нахуй.
Давай, давай, давай.
Ебал я его рот. Ух, ёп.
Okay, so in case you missed it in the beginning, it looked like a nuclear blast over here. It's pretty crazy when these things explode. I mean, the initial explosion is just absolutely massive. We can see that fireball coming up from the facility in the beginning of this video. There's really not much else to see after that as the camera pans down. This person obviously panicking from this explosion. So we've got another video coming up next, so let's take a look at that as well.
Опа, ни хрена себе. Не знаю, что делать. Едем, не едем, как думаешь? Опа, ни хрена себе.
Okay, so just a quick 9-second clip of what appears to be another resident nearby catching some of the light appearing over the trees as this facility was struck. We can see all that illumination over the tree line here as this facility was destroyed last night. So pretty crazy. Also, one last thing here. This is a NASA fire map that shows the fire, how much it spreaded. So it basically covered the majority of the facility. It looks like something else caught on fire over here next to this river. So definitely a major hit here once again. And it's interesting because I was hearing some reports as well that Russia has so many of these facilities. Okay, I want to say they've got at least close to a dozen of them, large ammo storage facilities very close to Ukraine that Ukraine could be destroying, and I'm sure they're going to try to go after all of them. But what I was hearing is this is potentially only about 1% of in total of all these facilities that have been destroyed here, these three just over the last couple days. I wasn't able to completely confirm that, but there was some information on X talking about that. This is actually a very small portion of what Russia actually has in regards to their arsenal. But at the end of the day, it's going to make it very difficult for Russia to, fuel their troops and bring lots of weaponry to the front line as Ukraine continues to destroy these. So I thought I would share that with you. Okay, we got one more video from Igor Sushko. Russia, Ukrainian drone struck another massive munitions arsenal in Tver region. The 23rd Missile and Artillery Storage Site, located just 16 kilometers south of the 107th Arsenal, struck the other day, which caused earthquakes. So we've got an 18-second clip, so let's go ahead and take a look at this as well. So I don't think this one has much sound, but we can see lots of smoke here that somebody was recording as they were driving along. There's their phone going off. That's not mine. That's their phone inside their car. So pretty crazy to see, guys. Lots more smoke here at this facility as somebody else was able to capture this on camera. So now I want to show you guys this, okay? This is from UA Wire. Ukraine reportedly uses triple-loaded Neptune missile to strike Russian ammunition depot in Tver region. Okay, this was reported on September 19th, just a few days ago. Now, I thought this was interesting. I actually found this on X yesterday, and I wanted to show this to you guys. As according to this report, it looks like Ukraine is actually using their Neptune missiles now, and it says triple loaded. So they've got 3 of them attached to each other, I'm assuming. Here's a picture of it right here. We know that Ukraine has been upgrading their Neptune missile, and they've been upgrading it to travel upwards of 1,000 kilometers inside of Russia. And we also had that report I showed you guys again the other day, that military barracks inside of the Bryansk region coming under attack while there were some Russian troops standing outside. It sounded like a missile, so this is probably what struck, if not maybe the Palinitsia drone. But, to me, it doesn't look like Ukraine really even needs the Western help. If they've got their own missiles and they're already striking targets inside of Russia, this might be the way that we start going in the future when it comes to Ukraine. But definitely we're going to hear by next week whether Ukraine is going to be able to use Western missiles as well to strike inside of Russian territory. So also, now we're going to talk about Kharkiv a little bit, some of these attacks that were happening last night being reported on X. JNKiv reports, Russians have just bombed a hospital in central Kharkiv with guided bombs. Okay, so more guided aerial bombs. I believe these are glide bombs striking inside of Kharkiv. Again, reports of a hospital being struck in central Kharkiv. And also from the Ukrainian Review, the number of injured in Kharkiv is increased to 5. 1 woman was hospitalized. The hospital near which Russian air bomb hit is functioning. At the time of the hit, there were hundreds of patients there. So I believe this could be video footage of that hospital coming under attack. If it's not, something else was struck inside of Kharkiv. So we've got a video here and also a picture to take a look at. So let's start with this.
Боже.
Okay, so it looks like somebody was inside their home at the time and they were able to see this glide bomb dropping into Kharkiv, most likely striking that hospital. And again, what is the significance of a hospital? We just reported just a couple days ago in the Sumy region, I think it was actually the city of Sumy, coming under attack by Russian glide bombs, most likely, or some sort of missiles, maybe Iskander missiles, striking a sick and elderly facility. Okay, lots of older people were here inside of this facility suffering from diseases, and who knows what else they're suffering from, and it's coming under attack by Russian glide bombs, essentially being destroyed. We had a lot of them that had to be evacuated out of this facility. So what is the significance of these strikes? I have no idea, other than just to terrorize the population of Ukraine. And we have definitely seen a lot of that coming from Russia recently. So also here's a picture of the explosion in the background at the time that this person caught this on their camera. So pretty crazy to see that. We also got this from Bliskovka. Kharkiv Regional Prosecutor's Office published a video of a Russian airstrike on Kharkiv. According to the police, 9 people, including 2 children, were injured in the strikes. Okay, so we are hearing that more people, unfortunately, are being injured in these attacks. So we got a 10-second clip of some video footage of a missile or some sort of bomb that's going to land here in the middle of the road while this person's driving. Take a look. All right, so this is inside of Kharkiv again in northeastern Ukraine, very close to the Russian border, and Kharkiv comes under attack almost every single day. I don't know how many reports I've done on Kharkiv, and you can see this missile or this glide bomb just drops in the middle of this street as this person is driving here. So pretty insane to continue to see this. Very sad for the people of Kharkiv. Also inside of Kryvyi Rih now from the Ukrainian Review. At night, Russians attacked Kryvyi Rih. 3 people were killed, including a 12-year-old boy. So very sad to see this too, guys. Looks like somebody's home was destroyed in an overnight aerial attack coming from Russia. As we can see, this home was completely demolished from this strike. And again, what is the significance of this? I have no idea. Why would they launch these missiles at this? I just don't get it. But definitely looks like some sort of family was affected by this strike. 12-year-old boy losing his life, 3 other people. Very sad, okay? So now also we've got this report coming from the Krasnodar region, also from a special Kherson CAT. In Krasnodar region, Molkino village, the Wagner PMC base is burning. As reported in the village where the Wagner base was located, for almost 10 years, administrative buildings, are burning. Okay, so we've got video footage of a Wagner base that's burning here. Was this, again, a sabotage operation inside of Russia? Again, this is in the Krasnodar region, same region as the Tikhoresk arsenal that was destroyed. So take a look at this, 24 seconds long.
Все тихо. Африканский корпус, хули. Бывшие фильтра конторы. Штаб горит.
All right, guys, so another day inside of Russia where we've got more critical infrastructure burning down. We just reported yesterday, I think it was another military barracks, some sort of building in another region of Russia. I think it might have been in the Moscow region that was burning down as well. Okay, so I have no idea. These got to be sabotage attacks, what's taking place here, considering this is a military installation too. But definitely everything is continuing to burn down in Russia while this war is continuing. So also, now we're going to move on to next. Russia's preparing strikes on nuclear facilities in Ukraine. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha has said, according to him, such data is provided by Ukrainian intelligence. Okay, so we've been hearing a lot of this recently that Russia is preparing to strike, whether it be nuclear facilities, energy facilities all over Ukraine. And, think about what Ukraine has been doing just over the last few days, striking these major arsenal munitions depots. Russia's going to respond to this, and what I think we're really seeing playing out right now too is Ukraine's victory plan. Okay, I think that's what a large majority of this is, because we know that Ukraine has been wanting to go after major targets inside of Russian territory, their airfields, their ammunition depots, whatever it might be. And I think that's what we're starting to see play out right now, is Ukraine unfolding their victory plan before they even show it to the United States next week. And yeah, obviously, according to this, we're going to be seeing Russia preparing strikes on nuclear facilities in Ukraine. So it could definitely get very out of control. And I have a big feeling something major is going to happen, probably inside of Ukraine in the next coming month and a half as we lead up to the elections. I think this war is definitely going to intensify as we are seeing that happening right now. Okay, so that was some interesting information. Finally, one last thing in regards to Iran. Bliskovka reports Iran did not hand over mobile launchers for FAT-360 ballistic missiles to the Russian Federation, reports Reuters. Two experts told the publication that there could be several reasons. Russia may plan to modify trucks to transport missiles, as Iran did, by keeping the launchers. Iran opens up space for new talks with Western powers to de-escalate tensions. Okay, so according to this information, this is an exclusive report from Iran. It says, for Iran, says Iran withheld launchers for missiles sent to Russia, sources say. So according to this information, if I'm understanding this right, they only sent the missiles over to Russia, not necessarily the launchers for the FAT-360 ballistic missile systems. We've been talking a lot about that recently. And I mean, so far we haven't seen Russia using these yet, so maybe that's true. Maybe Iran is just starting out with sending the missiles over to Russia, not necessarily the launcher systems. But we'll have to see because as it says here, Russia may plan to modify trucks to transport missiles as Iran did. So who knows what's going to happen here? We still haven't seen Russia do these and or use these systems yet. Maybe we will hear of that in the near future, but I'm sure Ukraine is waiting for those missiles to be used so they can react on that. And it's definitely going to have some major blowback when it comes to the United States. And this could definitely push Ukraine to get the ability to strike targets inside of Russian territory. But we'll see if that's coming next week, as we know the UN General Assembly is coming up next week as well, by the end of the week. And they're definitely going to be talking about whether Ukraine can have the ability to and permission to strike targets inside of Russian territory. So definitely lots of big news coming out today that I thought I would get you guys caught up on. But regardless, two major munitions depots inside of Russia last night, one in the Krasnodar Krai region and also up in the Tver region of Russia, being destroyed, as we see in the video footage here once again. So I hope you guys got something out of today's update. If you did, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell, that way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.